Torpedo approaching.
WWII, fire!
Steady on the ASDIC, gentlemen. They're tracking us passively, but they're here. Find them. Hard to starboard. All ahead full.
ASDIC contact, bearing 040.
Set depth charges to 50 feet. Fire 1, fire 2.
Sonar contact, steady bearing, closing fast. All hands, brace for impact. Launch pattern, Baker.
Emergency evasive action, left full rudder. I say again, left full rudder. Sonar, bearing 090. Torpedo approaching.
WWII, fire!
ASDIC reports contact bearing 090. Hard to starboard. All hands, battle stations. All hands, brace for impact. Sonar, hold that bearing. Helmsman, hard right rudder. Prepare the depth charges. Sonar blind or not, they're closing in. I want every man on high alert. We cannot lose this convoy.
ASDIC, confirm contact. Bearing 090.
Contact confirmed, sir. Steady bearing.
Release the charges.
Hard to port. All ahead flank. I want a solution on that contact immediately.
Bearing 020, sir. Target confirmed.
Hard to starboard, quickly now. All engines ahead full. Sonar, multiple contacts. I need a bearing. Hard to port. Emergency ahead. That reading is inaccurate. They're positioning for the ambush. Adjust your tracking immediately.
Wait, sir. The contact is shifting rapidly.
Target lock bearing 320.
Prepare the depth charges. I want that submarine neutralized immediately.
ASDIC, give me a bearing on that contact. The convoy is vulnerable.
Torpedo, fire!
Harder starboard, flank speed!
Get me a damage report on that near miss. All hands, battle stations. We have a solid contact bearing 090. Helm, come hard to port. Prepare the depth charges. Hard right rudder, all ahead flank.
Contact bearing 090, range uncertain.
Drop pattern, Charlie. Contact bearing 040, range closing. Hard Aston, release the charges. Blind attack. Hard right rudder, all ahead flank. Sonar, give me the range to that submarine now. Stand by, depth charges. Keep a sharp ear on that ASDIC, Mr. Jones. I want to know the moment they move.
Contact bearing 290, sir. Steady bearing. Contact bearing 090. Hard right rudder, full speed ahead. We have them now.
Set depth charges to 50 feet. Stand by.
Sonar contact bearing 090, sir.
WWII, fire. Hard to starboard. All ahead flank. Sound the collision alarm. We have a contact bearing 049er. ASDIC, give me the bearing.
Steady on 040, closing rapidly.
Hard right rudder, now. All engines flank speed.
Fire 1, bearing 040, adjust for drift.
Con, ASDI, target bearing steady.
Hold on to your stations, lads.
Hard to starboard, all ahead flank. Get a solution on that contact immediately.
All hands, battle stations. Keep your eyes peeled, that U-boat is close.
Contact bearing 040, range extreme close, sir.
Contact bearing 090. Hard to starboard. Prepare depth charges. Shallow setting.
Stand by to fire.
Range, rough.
He's turning. Stand by the K-guns. Fire 1, fire 2, prom can. Clear the bridge. Bearing 090, range holding steady. Hard right rudder, Ingju Sudu. Launch the depth charges now. Hard to starboard, all ahead full. Get me a solution now.
Bearing 090, range 1,500 yards. We have contact, sir.
Sonar is completely dead. We are blind, gentlemen. All ahead full. Prepare for evasive maneuvers. Hard to port, Helm. ASDIC, give me that range now. They've broken through. Damage control party, report to the auxiliary engine room immediately. Sonar contact bearing 320. All hands to battle stations. Prepare depth charges.
Hard to starboard, all ahead full. Sonar, give me a bearing.
Bearing 290, sir. Multiple contacts.
Sound the collision alarm.
Steady on course 040. Sonar, confirm contact classification. Torpedo localized, bearing 320, closing fast.
ASDIC reports contact bearing 049er. All hands to collision stations. Prepare depth charges.
They're moving through the fog. Sonar, give me a bearing on that last ping. All hands, prepare for impact.
We are not alone out here.
They are tracking us, and they are waiting to kill! Contact, bearing 090. All ahead flank! Hard to port, helm! Get me a bearing on that contact now.
Bearing 180, sir.
Hard right rudder! All ahead flank! Sonar, hold that bearing! Hard left rudder, all ahead flank. Sonar, what have you got?
Contact bearing 090. Locked on, sir. Firing solution established.
Fire 1, fire 2!
ASDIC, confirm contact.
Bearing 090, steady range, sir. 50 feet.
Fire 1, fire 2. Target bearing 320, range 800 yards. Set the pattern to shallow. Fire!
Bridge, we have a confirmed contact bearing 090. Set depth charges to 50 feet. Fire pattern 1. Now!
All hands, battle stations. I want full power to the engines now. Where's the contact?
Sonar contact. Bearing steady, sir. He's close.
All hands, battle stations. Get me a reading on that contact now.
Bearing 320, sir. Possible U-boat.
Hard rudder, release the depth charges.
Steady on course 040. He's close. Stand by, K-guns. Fire 1, fire 2.
Hard right rudder. Stand by with the K-guns.
I want a pattern drop on that last bearing.
Report that contact immediately.
ASD at contact bearing 040. Range uncertain.
All hands, brace for impact.
Mr. Jones, I want that ASDIC sweeping the forward arc now. They're closing in.
All hands to stations. That submerged contact is closing fast.
Bearing steady, Captain. Range 2,000 yards.
Sonar, intensify the sweep. I want that submarine found now.
Ziel erfasst. Rohr 1 und 2. Feuer!
ASDIC contact, bearing 090. Hard to starboard, battle stations.
Rohr 1, Feuer!
He's pinging us. Hard to port, emergency full ahead. Prepare depth charges. Target acquired. Fire torpedo. Contact bearing 090. Steady on. Depth charges away. Hard to starboard, helm. I want that submarine now. ASDC contact, bearing 090.
Hard to starboard, emergency full ahead. All hands, brace for impact.
Sir, contact bearing 090. Torpedo inbound. ASDIC, report contact immediately. All ahead, full.
Hard right rudder, all ahead full.
Aye, sir. Bearing steady at 320. Distance closing.
ASDIC, report. Do you have contact?
Ping bearing 270, sir. Solid contact.
Hard to starboard. Stand by depth charges.
Hard to port. All engine is ahead flank. Stand by K-guns. Fire 1, then the pattern.
All hands, battle stations. We have contact.
ASDIC bearing 090. Range 2,000 yards. Closing fast, sir.
All hands, battle stations. We have a confirmed contact.
Contact bearing 090. Range short. He's close, Captain.
Hard to starboard. Prepare the charges.
Target bearing 270. Range closing rapidly.
Con, sonar, we have him locked.
Fire the full pattern.
Hard to starboard, faster now.
Steady bearing 090, sir.
Depth charges, pattern 1, fire 2, fire 3.
ASDIC, give me a precise bearing.
Contact bearing 020.
Tiefer. Schneller. Steady on target.
I want this one dead. Launch the full pattern. Contact bearing 020. Hard rudder, steady on the attack course. Stand by with the depth charges. Maintain absolute silence. They're close.
Sonar contact, bearing 320.
Action stations. Hard to starboard.
Hard to port, helm. ASDIC, give me that bearing now.
Bearing 090, sir. Steady ping.
Bridge, all ahead flank.
Contact bearing 340. Designated U-boat.
Drop charges. Drop pattern 2.
Sonar, confirm contact. We have him. All engines ahead flank. Stand by, fire 1.
All hands, battle stations. ASDIC, I want a bearing on that contact now. Keep steady on course, Mr. Jones.
ASDIC contact bearing 040, range 2,000 yards.
Hard to starboard. All ahead flank.